Hey everyone, Joanna Rogers, Soul Alchemist. What is going on with this new moon, and actually not new moon, sorry, full moon and the lunar eclipse and the portal that just opened? All of these things can be really confusing to understand what's going on and to comprehend how it's affecting us. Because if you are awakening, ascending, individuating, whatever you want to call it, but you become more conscious, you will have noticed this powerful energy in some way, whether you're conscious of it or not. So that's what I want to share with you today, some information about new moons versus full moons, what this full moon means, what that portal, a bit of an idea of what that is. We do only have half an hour. So there's just a ton of information, but the more you have a better grasp about what full moons and, all this astrological things that are taking place, the more you understand more about them, the more you come to see that you're not alone in what you're going through, and it can help you understand how to become more conscious. So Joanna Rogister, Soul Alchemist. This is Real Talk Soul Alchemy, part of Speak Up and Empower's online community of heart-centered people that are focused on sharing their wisdom and knowledge, or it's a community of people that are searching for more. I am Joanna Rogister, the Soul Alchemist. Soul Alchemy is the journey of your soul, of transformation from where you are now to where your soul wants you to be, to becoming the truly, or recognizing, remembering that you are God and God is you. And when you come to that place, then you can step truly into your power and take on your soul purpose and start to ascend and become more aware. And it is a lifelong journey. It's not something that happens overnight, although some people it does. But for most of us, it's a lifelong journey of becoming more aware. Hi, Tony. And stepping into our power and understanding more about this beautiful planet that we live on and the beautiful souls that are here. And first and foremost, your own soul. So the new moon took place on not last night. Sorry, not this morning. Yeah, not last night, but on the 26th at approximately 4 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, depending upon what time zone you're in. And I actually woke up at about 4 o'clock in the morning and went, why am I awake? And then I remembered that this was taking place and laid there for about a half an hour and then fell back asleep again, luckily, which doesn't often happen very often when there's a full moon for me. But last night made up for it, and I was up for most of the night. So that's one of the profound effects that the moon cycle has upon us, full moon or new moon, either one. As time goes by, the new moon can have a stronger impact upon me than the full moon can, but both of them have very strong impact. And if you want to look at it from a scientific effect, it's the energy that's affecting the tides, it's the pull, the draw. There's so much that goes on with that. But as a female, it affects our menstrual cycles, but anyone that's affected by energy at all. I used to work in a home for special care, and we always had extra staff on. Anyone that's worked in retail knows that things are different when there's a full moon or a new moon, and to just be more aware and accepting of what's going on. So the full moon is all about releasing, letting go, stepping up to that next level. The new moon, and that comes, of course, in the middle cycle. The new moon is about awakenings, new birth, becoming, ascending to what you want to be. So, and second chances. So, when you're talking about affirmations and moons, the new moon would be, I am readying myself, I am preparing myself, whereas the full moon is I am releasing. So you may have noticed a lot of releasing taking place with this last full moon. You may have noticed that there's a lot of old energies coming up, a lot of trauma may be presenting itself, a lot of old thoughts. A lot of times, because you've done the work, these can be just you may look at them and think, geez, I thought I dealt with that, which is always happening. But these emotions are stuck in your body, and in order for you to ascend and to move on, and to prepare yourself, this old stuff has to go. And emotions, lower vibration emotions, carry weight in your body, and in order for you to ascend, the old stuff has to go to make way for the new stuff. So this comes up for a lot of people. They feel old insecurities, they feel low self-esteem, they remember traumas and have to deal with the emotional impact that those traumas had upon them. And so we can look at it and go, why? I don't want to deal with this anymore. But this is what the moon cycle does for us. It helps us to move forward. And so this full moon was a very powerful full moon, because not only was there a full moon, but there was also a lunar eclipse at the same time, and a portal was opened. And so what does that mean? The portal opening is that more energies are flowing through to the planet. I talk about the Schumann index a lot, and the Schumann index, is just off the charts for the last, almost every day, a month and a half. It's been slowly increasing, but lately it's been just wild how much it's spiking some days. And it's funny, there's some days where I think, what is going on? And then someone sends me a clip of what the Schumann index is doing that day, and it's like, oh, well, that makes sense. And I talked about the Schumann index in other instances and other webcasts, and it's there are instruments. I think there's 7 or 8 places across the globe where the vibration, the frequency of the earth are being measured and then compared. And so it looks at these different areas. Actually in Canada, there's one, I think, out in Calgary. And there's many places, 6 or 7 places across the world, and they measure it. And it used to be that it was about 7 or 8 hertz, and now it's on average 40, but it's been going up. Like, it's hit well over 100 a number of times in the last month. So there's a lot of energy hitting the earth, solar flares, etc. And we can feel that when we are ascending, because we are empaths and we feel the energy. And we may feel out of sorts. We may feel uncomfortable. Our stomachs may be upset. We may be having problems with constipation or diarrhea. We may have problems sleeping. We may have problems with a lot of different factors. And what my guides are telling me is that this is going to continue to ramp up, because this astrological setting timeline was from May 26th till June 10th, when there is another astrological opening taking place. So it's going to be gradually ramping up. And from what I've heard from other channelers, other guides, is that this period of time is going to increase our ascension process extremely rapidly for those that are ready to ascend, and rapidly enough that it'll be the equivalent of a lifetime of ascension rolled into this short period of time, if you're ready for it. So likely, if you're watching, you have felt it and you have been ready for it. Now, it's not to say that all the rest of the planet, if they weren't ready for it now, that they will never ascend. That's not what they're saying. There will be periods of time, but it's just, we're being very rapidly ascended, awakened, to be able to participate in the changes that are going to be taking place down the road. And I can feel messages getting ready. There's messages from the guides that are coming in. So it is a very rapid ascension time, but it is something that has been talked about throughout different cultures for, it's been predicted that this time was coming. Back in the Aztec calendar, they talked about 2012. Well, this period of time has been in many calendars also for the ascension of the world. And there's a lot of extraterrestrials, interplanetary, intergalactic beings that are coming here to help us on our journey and to help us ascend and awaken, so that we can speed up our ascension, so that we can help other people. So the regular moon versus the full moon, the new moon versus the full moon, there's a lot of physical aspects. The reason why it affects our digestive system a lot is that When we feel that we're not in control externally, often our subconscious mind will actually try and control things going on internally. And what's the easiest thing that we control? It's our digestive system. So we could have constipation or diarrhea, kind of opposite ends of the same spectrum, but that's our body trying to control when we are in a place of fear or lacking in safety or unsure about what's really going on. So if you're feeling any of those symptoms, you may feel aches and pains in the joints. You may have been noticing greater hair loss, and that's a fluctuation in your hormones from what's going on energetically. So there's lots of things going on, but we are reincarnated with every cycle. So it's the moon cycle is truly a beautiful cycle to be more aware of and conscious of it. There's tons and tons of books out there. There's tons and tons of meditations that you can do, YouTube meditations, guided meditations to follow through, like every full moon and new moon every month. But you can start to follow it. So once again, it's ascension that those that are ready for it. So if you've noticed it, you are likely ascending and are ready for it and have been affected by it, releasing old emotions, old processes. It astounds me, some of the thoughts and some of the scenarios that have popped up in my mind, things that I thought, why? But obviously they're holding energy for me. And the quicker that I can just go, oh, okay, that's what it is. Being an observer, curious, that third party, and just being aware of it and watching it happen, but not getting caught on it, allows us to just release and let go and move on. Once again, emotions take up weight in our body if they're low vibration emotions. So the more we can just release them and let them go, the better you will feel. This full moon and every full moon, but in particular this one, because it is so powerful, gives us the opportunity to manifest the life of our dreams, to manifest what we want. And that is much more possible because the energy is speeding up and we are ascending at a faster rate. So manifesting, a reminder, manifesting is about focusing on the emotions that we wish to feel. So if you want to lose weight, then you will focus on how good you want to feel at the end of the day, that you had enough energy to do all the things that you wanted with your kids. If you're looking for the new house and you want to imagine looking at your house and feeling pride, looking at your house and going, oh, I love living in this area, looking at your house going, oh, I've got more than enough room for all the things that I want to do with my house, the privacy that I want, or the grounds that I want, or whatever it is. Focus on the joy of looking at your home and being able to appreciate it. So that's where manifesting becomes very powerful, when you focus on the emotions and then you do something every day towards achieving that. So for weight loss, it's getting out and going for a walk, if that's something different, or maybe cutting out a snack that you would have had, or if it's that house that you're looking for, driving around a different neighborhood to look for a different house in a different area that you're used to. So manifesting can become very powerful this time and very rapid if it's for your best and greatest good. But typically those that are in alignment are asking what's for their best and greatest good. But that may be that we ask for things that we think we want or need, but perhaps they're not for our best and greatest good, because perhaps they're based upon lower vibration ways of thinking, or old ways, things that we've always wanted, but they no longer serve a purpose for us. But as much as we've moved on, we haven't realized that we've let go of these old desires or dreams. And so that this portal that's open, once again, I mentioned at the start that it's about, more energy coming in, but this portal allows in new ways of thinking. It allows in a transformation, a shift in the way that we think, and it allows us to bring in new thought processes, new physical changes that can take place. The portal can allow us to ascend at a rapid rate because different energies are coming in. And once again, there's just a whole bunch associated with that. So it was called a flower moon for those that are interested in that. But it really, this one is all about, if you can get into, that's into Sagittarius, and if you know your astrological symbols, I don't know them, and it's not because I don't think that there is method to it and that there's a reason to follow your astrological guides and symbols. I do, but it's just not something that I focus on. So, but this time is a very powerful, this new moon is a very powerful time for expansion of knowledge and understanding. So perhaps it would be a good time to go and, check out some new YouTube videos. I just watched another one on the Pleiadians, someone who channels Pleiadians. So getting out and speaking with them. And there's also an element of trusting that you're exactly where you're meant to be, and what's happening was meant to be. There's no need to fear any of this or to be afraid of any of this. This is part of your journey. It's a part of journey for many other people on this planet. It's a part for those that we're here to awaken and ascend, to be the light seeds, the star workers, whatever terminology, whatever your specific gift or purpose is, right? Gatekeepers, I talked about that last week, manifestors. There's so many different talents that are there, but whatever yours is, this is a time for you to ascend and to move closer, to allow your gifts to develop more and to understand more about you and what your purposes are here and how you can move towards attaining those purposes and becoming you. Closer to stepping into your power more, loving yourself more, accepting yourself more, and acknowledging that you have this strong purpose. Whatever it looks like, if you feel that you are drawn to bigger and better things, that's wonderful. Trust that process. Sometimes it can be really challenging for us because we become very impatient and we want it now, and like, show me what I'm going to do. And I'm very culpable that way, that, show me where I am a year from now. But I think that the issue is that so many things can change. And if we're waiting for something to happen a year from now, then we aren't moving forward. We're not ascending. And what is designed right now for a year from now, if we step into our power more and accept our power more, love ourselves more, a year from now, that could be 2 months from now, or so anything can change. We step out the door and we turn left instead of right, and we change the path that we're on. And ideally, we step into one that brings us more joy and happiness and peace, and away from less happiness, less peace, less joy, that lower road. So many things going on, so many things to understand. But I think one of the biggest things is to understand or to grasp that you are being affected by the full moon, the lunar eclipse, that portal that was opening. And it's going to feel different from every person. But if you're feeling out of sorts, if you're feeling new energies, a tingling on the skin, energy flowing more through your body, digestive issues, so many headaches. I've had headaches for the last 3 days straight. So all of these things, it's entirely possible that they are as a result of the energy of the full moon that we just had, and that we're still being affected by, because it's usually 2 to 3 days before and 2 to 3 days afterwards. We're affected by that energy when it's at its peak, its full peak in the sky. So much going on. But just a reminder that you are where you're supposed to be, and you are an absolutely beautiful soul with a true purpose on this planet, to guide others and to make and to be there as the light, as the gift to humanity in general, to show others the way. And really what I see with everything taking place in this planet is that we are being prepared for what we need to do when everything comes to light about what has taken place with Maxine, whatever you want to call it, all of these things, when the truth comes out, people will be searching to understand how people got away with what they did. And it's not our place to say, well, point a finger and say they did that. Our place as leaders, as light workers, as seed workers, is to show them, okay, here's where we are and how do we move forward? And how can we be the light? How can we show them, okay, yeah, this has happened, but it's time now to step away from that and let go and to step into our own power and to remember that everything that we have inside, everything that we need is already inside of us, and to step back from everything that's taking place and step away from it and reach that 0 point where we see and we hear, but it doesn't affect us, because we know that this is all part of the journey. So Joanna Rogers, your Soul Alchemist. This has been Real Talk Soul Alchemy on Speak Up and Empower. Check out Speak Up and Empower at speakupandempower.com for more information about other topics, other people. There's amazing people sharing their wisdom and knowledge, and teaching people about what they need to know about and providing their wisdom and sharing their knowledge. So speakupandempower.com, but join me again next Thursday at 12:30 for Real Talk Soul Alchemy, or check out my YouTube channel, Joanna Rogers, your Soul Alchemist, or there is my website, which is Joanna Rogers, soulalchemisthealing.com for more information. And we'll have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week.